Hey, what up, Decisive Marketer? This is a updated video. About a month ago, I created a video called Writer Zen versus Outranking versus Phrase, right? So, because Outranking has a huge update, and this might, tip the tables a little bit. And I just want to make a updated video on Outranking, and I am so far pretty amazed by outranking. So just spending some time testing it out, and I would say it can be a contender against Phrase and Writer Zen as well. Right, so before I dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more digital marketing and e-commerce content. Right, so let's jump into Outranking here. Right, so this is the dashboard once you sign in. Right, so the problem with Outranking at the moment is that they don't actually have a dashboard, so they actually send you to the your profile settings page. So that's an issue right here, because once you log in, what you can see is them asking you to upgrade, right? So that's not a very good idea. And with Outranking, they have AI writing built in as well. So if you go into add-ons, you can actually if you make use of all the characters that you have been given, you can add on more in here as well, right? And it seems like they have API, but I'm not really sure what you can do with it. Got to play with it a little bit, and then you got team members and stuff like that in here, right? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go into the SERP analysis, right? This is for us to take a look before we get started writing, right? This is for us to research on the topic itself. So I've already done one. It's called Google Shopping Ads, so I'm going to try and write an article on Google Shopping Ads, and the location is in Singapore. So it's very simple. Just put in your keyword right here, and then just type in the location, and you can select the number of results that you want and submit, and you will get the analysis of the keyword, right? So over here, this is what they say, is that you got to write roughly maybe about 3,000 words for this article, right? Because the minimum number of words, the lowest one of all the search results right here is 4 words, and then the maximum is close to 7,000 words, and on average about 2,223 words, right? And then for images, the maximum is 25, and on average is 4, right? And minimum is 0. So this, and then the meta title, right? So some titles have 84 words, so that could be a little bit long. And then got 44 words right here, and this is meta description. Some have 888, so that's way too much, right? Some don't even specify a meta description, which is very common as well, and on average is 158. Of course, we are never going to write 158 because it's not going to show everything. You would have dot at the end. So what you want to have is 155, 156 characters, right? And then this is what they tell you. And then is there any people also ask question, any featured snippet, right? So no, which is very accurate here because there is no featured snippet here at all, right? And then this is the SERP analyst, right? So the first result that it shows here is tenuity, right? Tenuity, which I think I'm actually pretty confused with Outranking, because over here they put this POS, right? I guess it's position. 4 is actually correct, right? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually correct here, but the next one is 6, right? So it doesn't. It's actually 5 right here. Then Shopify. So this is actually number 6 here, but it shows 9. So I'm not really sure how how what this actually means. Does it really mean? Does it really mean? Um, the sub position, right? So it might not be that. And I tried to check out the videos here. It doesn't seem to be talking about the sub analysis topic in here, right? There's no topic in the documentation. So I guess this is something, because Outranking is still quite a new business, so I guess they are still working on the documentation, what they actually mean by the POS right here, right? And then we got the sub result here, and the content length, and they tell you the DA, PA, number of backlinks, no follow, do follow, and the grade. So this I find is actually very useful, because you wouldn't know how to whether you can actually compete against these websites, because if you have a lot of backlinks on these ones over here, then if you look at the search results and they all have a lot of backlinks, then you might not want to compete. You might not even want to write the topic itself, because you can have a very SEO optimized article. The problem with phrase is that it helps you to really optimize your article in terms of SEO, on-page SEO wise, but in terms of off-page SEO wise, you don't really know who are your competitors, and because your competitors could have many backlinks, and it can be very competitive, and writing a good article does not mean that you're going to rank high. You still have to consider backlinks pointing to the article or to your website as well, right? So if some of these articles have many backlinks pointing towards them, then it could be an problem for you to try and rank for it, right? So that's something that I find very useful, and they give you a grade as well, like an SEO grade, right? So that's actually very useful. And then we've got the metadata URL, right? So this is whether they have what's their meta title, okay? And is there I believe this is a match keyword in the article itself, right? So for example, this one has Google Shopping Ads Guide, and if I go to visit link, if you just take a look at this, and you can see that within the title it has Google Shopping Ads, okay? So that's what it means. I believe that's what it means by match keyword. Once again, because their documentation on the sub analysis feature is not really ready yet, so I'm not able to tell. And then HFW and title, I don't really know what that means. And then this is the hashtag. So this is also it looks like it's likely the first H1 tag. Okay, yep, so it looks like it's the first H1 tag. So it's actually the real, I believe this is actually the actual title of the page itself. So you can see here, this is Shopping Ad Certification Google. So this is actually the meta title, but the actual title in the article itself is just Shopping Ad Certification, right? So that's something to take note of. So this is actually the actual title of the page itself, okay? And if is there any match keyword, and HFW, I don't really know what's that. Let's see if we can actually look that up, right? Okay, it doesn't really explain anything here in terms of HFW. Okay, so it could be I don't know, high frequency word, something like, I'm not really sure what HFW actually is, right? So this is actually something that I feel about the outranking is that it is built by very smart people. So I guess they will need some time to make it a little bit more accessible for people to as in people who are less technical to understand, right? So that's something that they probably need to work on, and they actually break down the H1 tags and H2 tags and all that, right? So they actually kind of break down the outline of the article here. So I feel that probably they could have a better way of presenting this information. One really good way would be to reference what Postpace has done, is that they actually give you the entire outline based on the search results itself. And then we've got the keyword data. Okay, so these are all the keywords that are mentioned within the article itself, and any related keywords. Right, so this is actually more for you to put into your content itself. And then we've got okay, so one thing about the related keywords you can see here is that they actually provide you with the search volume, right? Search volume, and then the cost per click, and all that information in here as well. And then you've got some keywords for content. Okay, so this is all the keywords that are being used within the content itself. And then some people also ask question. Okay, so there are 4 right here, and then we've got other tags. So this is external links that are being mentioned here. So this is actually kind of useful because it gives you an idea who they are linking out to, right? And internal links, images that they have, right? Tables, any unordered lists. Okay, and then ordered lists. Okay, so unordered lists would be the bullet points, right? I believe so. And then ordered list would be a numbered list like this. Okay, right? And pretty much this is the SERP analysis feature here. And then let's jump into the question before we actually go into the SEO content, right? So I'm gonna put in Google shopping ads right here, and put in Singapore and English and submit. Okay, I guess they could be taking a while to crawl the information here. Okay, so it's generating suggestions, and then hopefully we'll have the results soon. Okay, in the meantime, I'm just going to open up the SEO content because we're going to jump into it next. Okay, let's just dive in here, right? So we've got the Google shopping ads right here. What you want to do is because I've already created the document, it's pretty simple actually. Just click on new document, and then you can select if you want to create new content or optimize the existing content, and your search query and all that information in here. Okay, so once you fill that in, you would have a new document created. And we're going to dive in here first to the question part. So this is Google, right? So they actually grab all the related people also ask question within Google, but of course not everything is going to be related to Google shopping ads. So I guess you can click on related keywords that will actually tell you the questions in here. Okay, so these are actually related keywords. I guess this is actually what happens when you try to type in you know, like these are suggested keywords, right? Right, so then you get something like this. Okay, then what is Google Shopping Ads, right? So, and how to set up Google Shopping Ads. Okay, there we go, right? So they actually have a featured snippet here, so let's try again, right? What is Google Shopping Ads? And you get featured snippet. So I guess these are actually featured snippet in Google itself. Okay, right? So so one thing that I don't see here would be Quora and Reddit questions, right? Because those actually pop up quite frequently, right? So they might want to consider adding Quora and Reddit questions in here. Okay, so over here, this is how the document looks like. Okay, so so one thing really cool, as I mentioned in my previous video, comparison video, right, is that with Outranking, they do something that is pretty different from all the content optimization tools out there. Is that they have a URL optimizer, right? So they actually optimize your URL for you. So let's say so the first thing that I want to do is title, right? So you just follow what they say here. Just click on the first one, which is title, and they will give you some ideas on title. So let's say I want to be writing this would be my title. I'll just need to paste it in here. Okay, and then I can just click on this refresh button, and they'll tell me how good my title is. So they have this HFW keywords. I still am not very sure what it means by HFW. Okay, I'm not really sure what this is yet. Okay, so that's something I guess we'll need to find out what that is. Okay, so over here, alright, so this says 2021, right? Actually 2020, I'm going to change that to 2021. And then the next one would be you want to optimize the meta description. So I can grab any of this, and these are actually all AI generated, and they actually don't ask you for the they actually I don't think that they count this towards your AI credits that they actually give to you. So okay, so let's use some of this here. Okay, so let's say I want to use this one. I'm going to paste it in here. Okay, and then I can refresh and optimize my meta description. Okay, so next is the URL, right? So for the URL, I got to type it in myself, right? So this is what they actually tell you. Okay, so I guess HFW is high frequency keywords, right? So so that's what you want to put in. Alright, I guess it's called high frequency keywords, right? So I guess it means keywords that have a high search volume. So I'm going to put this in here. So what they say is that in my URL, I should include these keywords, right? I should include these keywords. So I'm going to follow ultimate guide Google Shopping Ads. Okay, so I'm going to click on refresh again and optimize for the URL, right? So they say it's great because I've got everything included in there. Okay, so so I guess this says good enough because there are some other high frequency keywords in here, but these are not actually related to my topic, so I'm gonna skip that. Okay, and then in my title, I could probably put shopping ads campaign. Okay, then it should turn into a higher score. Right, so we got great here, right? Okay, so this is good. And next would be my headings. Okay, so I could put in. Okay, so this one is a a good introduction, I guess. Okay, so these are the ones that I want to put in. Okay, so I can just click on this and insert headings in here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to click on this one, and I think this is probably good enough, right? And then next is okay, so I'm gonna refresh in here and see what they give me, right? So the headings is good, right? Questions. Okay, so these are actually some questions that I should probably insert in here, right? So okay, so what every new seller ought to know. Then I'm gonna put in what are Google shopping ads. Okay, then how to set it up, how much does it cost, okay, I think this is good enough as well, right? So this would be the some of the subheadings in there that I want to be putting in. So I can optimize my meta description some more right here. So I'm going to put in campaigns, and let me refresh that, and let's get a better score, right? Okay, there we go. So next is sections. Okay, so these are my H2, right? So so there we go, we have this actually. So I'm going to change this to header 2. Then how to set it up, header 2, and how much does it cost. This will be header 2 as well. Okay. So I can refresh it again, and I guess we got to add more stuff in here, right? Because it's not, we got to put a little bit more stuff in here. Okay. Okay, so these are actually some SERP from these are actually the some of the top results that we crawl, right, in Google itself. So you can actually grab them and place them in. So they have so this one probably I would put this. Okay, put in everything. Okay, and how to set up Google Ads, then I'll put in the creating Google Merchant Center. Okay, this one will be H3. Okay, and then let me add in another section here. This one will be H4, and this one will be H3 as well. Okay, so let me just optimize this again, refresh this, and let's see what we get. Okay, so we got a score of 76 now. Okay, Okay, maybe let's not put this. Let's don't put benefits. Let's put tips, and then because benefits a little bit difficult to, because within the SERP results they don't really have anything that I can just copy and paste, right? So I gotta create something on my own, and that takes time. So I'm going to add in a bunch of stuff here as well. So let's see. Okay, so this will be one tip here. So I'm going to click on this. Okay, let's try to refresh and see if we get a better score. Okay, so now it's 84, right? So I'm getting closer. Let's see if they actually give me any ideas on how to improve it. Okay, so I can actually, one thing really cool I guess is I can actually move this around. Let's see here. Okay, so I can actually move this around. So this is actually pretty cool feature that they have. I can look at my outline just like this. Okay, so that's actually very cool. Right, so optimize section. Okay, so let me put guide in here. Maybe that would improve the score. I guess it's because I am missing out on this. Okay, and how does it work? Okay, so I'm fulfilling some of these scores over here. Okay, it seems like they don't. I got to try and fit the word guide within the H2, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. Right? I guess this would be good enough right here because all the keywords are included within the sections itself. Then okay, so these are actually the related keywords and they are actually giving us the volume here. Okay, and they have added a keyword density feature here, so let's go to that in a short moment. So we've got research, right? So I can actually look at my competitors in here and actually read the entire article here. Okay, what is this? Don't redirect me, just give me a second here. Can I, because if I click here it seems to redirect me somewhere. Let me see. Okay, it just sends me back in here, so that's fine. Let's go back to the research again. Okay, so they actually pull out all the the entire article in here. So what I would say is that's kind of useful for you to pick out certain parts and add that into an article and rewrite them, right? And then the last one would be the topic coverage. So this is actually what they tell you, that you got to mention Google 11 times. So this is actually the Google keyword density. So let's see, just give me a second here. Current density. So they have added the keyword density, but I think it's because it doesn't appear as many times as it should be, right? Because it appears 11 times, so I probably need this to be at a, okay, I'm not really sure how this works. Let's see if there's anything on the instructions here. Okay, so I guess I guess what is happening here is that they don't actually tell you how many times does your keyword need to appear, right? Doesn't really tell you how many times your keyword has to appear. So that's kind of missing here. It tells you how many times your keyword appear and what is the density, but it does not tell you what the density should be. So I guess that's something they could probably be working on right now as well. And then we got the clusters here. So these are keywords that are within a group itself, and you might want to mention them because they're all related keywords, right? So keyword cluster, so I think this is actually pretty useful as well. So this is something that is within WriterZen itself, and it's being added into Outranking as well, and you know, all that information is in here. Okay, so let's look at the AI right here. Okay, so I can actually get them to write a meta description, answer question. Okay, so answer questions. Do I have any questions in here? Okay, how much do Google Shopping Ads cost? Okay, so there we go, right? It's being written here. Okay, let me just change this to paragraph. Okay, so Google Shopping Ads campaign is the best value for ad dollars. Anyone who clicks will spend about 1 cent or about 1% of the advertised price. Advertising in the Google Shopping program is great value for ad dollars because the shopper who clicks on an ad will be willing to spend 1 cent or 1. Okay, it's not super intuitive yet. Okay, so I guess this is something that they are still working on, right? Because Outranking is a tool that is, oops, sorry, I clicked on the wrong one here. Let me just click on this. So Outranking is a tool that is more of a content optimizer and not a AI writing tool, right? So that's something to take note of. Okay, so Google Shopping Ads costs 50 cents per click on the search network, display network, YouTube, and universal ad campaigns. So it still does not answer the question. Right, so this is something that they need to work on as well, right? So let's see what else they have. Okay, so they have rewrite, expand. Okay, so they've got expand, right? So that's a very good feature to have. So I'm going to use expand here. Let's see, this is expand. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. So expand, we have that in closest copy as well, right? And I believe some other AI tools out there have this expand feature as well. Okay, so it is not coming out. Okay, there we go, right? So shopping ads are a great opportunity for small businesses to reach hundreds, if not thousands, of potential customers through a simple search. Okay, contemplating partaking in shopping ads. Okay, let's continue to expand. Okay. Please select less than 120 characters. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Okay, something like that. So I guess their expand feature is pretty useful as well. Let's try command, right? So command, uh, let's see what they can write, right? Command. Okay, I'm going to save this on my clipboard first. Okay, let's try. So I did this in my closest copy article, right? As in my video. So I'm gonna try this, right? Right. This is topic is inspirational speech by on grid by Tony Robbins. Okay, then the speaker is Tony Robbins, and what else do I have to put in? Why okay, let's why grit is important for anyone who wants to achieve success. Let's see if I can do something like this with. Okay, I think this is command, right? So let's try this. Okay, actually it's pretty close. Oops, we were exceeded. Okay, let's close this. Okay, so one thing that it seems pretty a little bit annoying is that if I hit my limits, then I am being forced to purchase, right? There's no close, there's no button to click that close the window right there. So I guess the AI writing feature seems to be decent. I wouldn't say that it is the best. It seems to work for now. I think it's good enough. Okay. It is not super tuned yet, but I guess it can help you within your writing. Like some of the shorter generations would be useful, like meta description, answer questions. These are the ones that I will feel that will be useful for you. Okay, so there we go, right? We've got all this stuff being written, and I'm going to refresh this again, and we have a high score here of 92, right? Of course, I've not done my entire SEO content, right? Because my content is too weak right now. Readability is low. That's good, right? And one thing that I feel that they have against WriterZen, against Phrase, is that they have a readability checker as well. Okay, so these are the ones that I need to fill in. I think pretty much that's all within Outranking. Okay, so with Outranking, I feel that they still have that cool feature of the URL optimization, meta description generation, title, optimizer. This is something that a lot of a lot of content optimizer tools don't really have, and they have a readability checker as well, which is not available in Phrase or WriterZen as well. That's only available in Postpace, and I think maybe like InStory has that feature, unless you are using something like Grammarly or Copyrightly, then they would have given you some readability checks. Overall, I think that they have improved quite a bit, especially with the keyword density feature, but they still need to give a better idea in terms of how dense the keywords needs to be as well, and I think overall the documentation needs to be improved, but I think in in general I would say that they have improved tremendously. I would still rate them. I guess they're catching up with the other content optimization tools out there, especially with the SERP analysis. Right, you can see that they actually break up everything for you. You can see the H1, H2, H3, H4 of every single content, and that helps you to build up your outline better as well. So it has some features that are present within Postpace and the other content optimization tools out there. I would say that this outranking is something to consider because they have improved quite a bit. It is the tool itself is to consider as well, is that the founders they seem to be very technical people, so they would the biggest challenge for them, I would guess, is for them to make it simple, to make it more easily understandable by common users. I would say that their content optimization feature, right, the SEO content optimization feature, it is very step by step. It's very organized in a way. They have instructions. This is if we go jump back in here, right, if you just click on the instructions here, they do tell you, okay, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, just like that. So if you follow all through all the steps, then you would be able to write a SEO optimized piece of content, right? So I think this is actually pretty useful because this is not in Writer Zen or Phrase, where it's easy for you to get confused on what to do. Overall, I would say Outranking has improved tremendously, and it's something for you guys to take a second look at. And pretty much that's all in this video. I hope you enjoy this. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and comment below if you have any questions for Outranking, and I'll see you in my next video.